Right. Hi, Oscar and Alina. Um, so last week we discussed, how I would develop this. Essentially, what I have developed in the past week is a REST API that interacts with the Python script that I was building. Again, as a reminder, the Python script retrieves the top YouTube channels for any given keyword search. It'll be used as an enterprise tool at IVI. Um, but besides, it being something that simply spits out the top channels, Oscar and I decided it would be great to have it be a REST API that interacts with the database, such that whoever uses it in the company can always have access to a database with, so they can update, create, retrieve, and delete, all the crude functionalities that we wanted. So in the past week, I've developed all that. Just as some background, though, the script right now is only about I think 50 or 60% of the way complete. I remember last time we talked about how I would incorporate likes, dislikes, and comments as sort of a ranking mechanism to rank the top channels. I haven't done that yet. I was midway in developing that. As you can see in this commented out code here, still dislikes, comments. I didn't finish it when I started on the REST API, so I will be doing that within the coming weeks, and eventually I will have that done. But what I have right now is essentially just ranking the channels based on their frequency of occurrence within, this top search results. So let me walk you guys through the database. Hopefully this will make more sense once I do that. So for example, this database right now, say you have all these keyword searches. I'm sorry. You give these keyword searches, and it stores the channels, the top channels for that keyword. So for Duke University, the top channels are Duke, Catherine Miller, Christopher Stubbs, and the number of videos that they have about Duke is 6, 3, and 2, respectively. So that's the way I'm ranking them right now, just based on the number of videos that they have on that topic. So nothing really too rigorous as of right now, but that'll change in the future. So let me walk you guys through the REST API that I developed. So this is the code. I developed it in Flask per Oscar's instructions and with help from the collab. I believe her name is Blair, so she helped me a lot in doing this. And so I looked up Flask and I found a lot of tutorials and eventually created this. So as you'll see in Flask, I'm sure you guys are aware of how Flask works, so I don't have to go at a very low-level description, but I have all these different routes. Each of them has a different method. So this one posts to the database. It adds to the database, essentially adds a keyword and the top channels to the database. This code that was here, the script is basically pulled from the script, so I just copy and pasted it. And yeah, so that's one way I developed it. I had to use the Airtable API, as you can see in this line 56 here, essentially integrating that Airtable API, which was super convenient to use and a great suggestion from Blair. So I thank her for that. And then we have the other crude functions. We have retrieve, so this gets it's a get function from the database. Again, different root, so everything's distinct. Everything is in line with what you would expect it to be. There are no tricks that we have to go through in order to get what we want. And the third one is delete. Again, it's pretty straightforward, all using the Airtable API in order to do what we want. And the last one is patch, so this is just updating it. So I thought about how an end user would use this. So for example, if someone in IVI did a search for headphones in the past, but they wanted to find headphone reviews in the past, but obviously if they've done it in the past, the search results have likely changed. They change every hour or so. So even if it changes a lot in like 10 days, then having the ability to update that entry would be extremely valuable. So that's why I incorporated that. And again, it just used the Airtable API, and it just runs the code from create again. So it's pretty much the same thing. It's just updating the entry. So let me demonstrate all these functionalities for you guys. So I use Flask, and again, that was run from the command prompt. So I have 2 command prompts open here right now. So let me start from step 1. So this is my virtual environment in the directory that I created. The directory is called IVI Proj, as you'll see there. Virtual environment. Let me just run Flash real quick. I'll show you guys how everything is. So yeah, this is just the main homepage of Flask. Let me set the Flask app to my project. So this project is called IVI Rest API UI. So that's great. And now I'll do Flask run, which just essentially launches my server. So that's all set. So now it's running on this address. Again, I'm sure you guys know Flask, but I just wanted to run through it again just to demonstrate my knowledge of it. So what we can do now in the second command prompt on the right, we can do all the requests that we wanted to do. So let's start off with a simple get. So let's do a post actually. So as you'll see here, I have the laptop reviews thing already here. So we can do something different instead of laptop reviews. Let's do Duke basketball, even though it sucks to do that right now. Let's do Duke basketball. And let's do the top 20 search results. So I didn't believe I made this clear, but essentially the input to the create one or the post is the search term and the max result. So this is the number of search results you want to go through in order to find the top channel. So this is the top 20 results, and it'll give you the number of channels for each video, and I mean the number of videos for each channel within the top 20 search results. So I'll do that right now, and let's see what we get. So it'll take a little time. Let's see what's in there. Actually, yeah, so it's already in there. Sometimes it takes a little while just because my laptop is a little weird. But Duke basketball is in here. It wasn't in the database before. We have NCAA March Madness, ESPN, Duke basketball is the top channels, and the ACC Digital Network. So all of these are channels that we would like to partner with if we had the opportunity to do so. So that demonstrates, why this is so useful for us. So Duke basketball is in there. That's demonstrating that. And as you'll see, I don't know why it's not. It should return what's in the database here, the channels. It should return this over there. For some reason it's being very slow, so I don't know why that's going on. But we'll give it a second run. And again, also I'm not sure why that's not happening either. So let's exit out of this just because we can. I don't want to do that anymore. And let's move on to another one. So let's move on to the next one in this function, which is retrieve. So say we want to retrieve the Duke basketball one. So I've done this in the past, so just for the sake of time, I'll pull up the request itself. So we have cats in here. So let's see what we get when we run that. So we have this get, and as you can see, the decorator over here is exactly what we want it to be per this decorator over here. So it should work. So it's taking a little while. So that's essentially what it should do, is return what's in this over here, what's over here, but it's taking a little while. So we can leave it for the end, so it won't waste your guys' time. So let's just move ahead to delete. So delete is another one that I implemented. Essentially just deletes the whole record from the database. So we can try that with any number of these. So I believe I did this in the past. So right, so we have this Duke basketball one that, say we want to get rid of this. I can run that and got rid of it over here. So Duke basketball's not there anymore, therefore it was successful. And let's do update. So say I have laptop reviews. Say I get rid of this and just put like IVI here. So obviously there's nothing here to do, so we can just update it and fill it with actually meaningful channels in there. So let's, again, it's taking a very long time to run for some reason. Let's do patch for laptop reviews. Oops, I think I did the wrong command, so let's do 20. That's what we need there, because we need the search result. I mean, we need the keyword, and we need the keyword and the number of search results we want to go through, which is 20. So we'll do that. Oh, whoops, I think I did it wrong again. Should be update in here. And that should do the trick. Alright, so now you see here in the laptop reviews, we actually have meaningful channels here. It just updates what was there before without getting rid of what we have already, which is laptop reviews. So we're not essentially creating another entry that we don't need. So again, I want to run back the get one just to see if it'll work. It was working before, so it should work. So we'll give that a second run, but again, I just want to walk through everything. So use Flask to develop all this, use the Airtable API, and used the YouTube API, which is in here. So what I'm going to do, next steps, is essentially develop out the rest of the program. And what I mean by that is I'm going to finish this part of it, finish the script that essentially factors in likes, dislikes, and comments to determine the relevancy of the channel, and also views as well. Forgot to mention that. So once those four things are incorporated, what we'll have is essentially a more holistic ranking algorithm that will allow me to determine the top channels instead of just relying on just the frequency of the videos. As I explained before, I didn't really get to that, so that's why I wanted to develop that out. So yeah, I feel like that's mostly everything. Let's see if that get request came back. Has not, which is weird. Interesting. So there you go. So this is the get request that ended up just working. And as you'll see here, you have all these requests here. You have the post, get, delete, patch. This is running on the server, so it shows everything that was running on the server. And as a last thing, what we can do is we can also show how this will work in my browser. So say I wanted to just treat this as an actual API and be like that. What it'll do, it'll have all the text from